Now, I'm going to say this. If you can, what is it? If you have not had any kind of suicide attempts or anything for, I think, 6 months to 2 years, they'll put you on a, what is it? Basically, kind of like a watch list or some kind of shit. But one slip up, and your platoon tells somebody, like your sergeant, your major, or anything, they'll kick you out. They will dishonorably discharge you. So, I'm just giving you a warning because I don't want to see my friend locked up in federal fucking prison. Or dead.
If you're on, like, medications and shit, do they let you take it in there?
It just really depends what medications.
I'm not Austin.
If you're, like, on pain meds, when I was in, they wouldn't let anybody take pain meds, opioids, or anything else like that. Anything that could not make you function like so. But if you took, like, vitamins or baby aspirin or something like that, that was fine. But anything that would make you fall asleep or make you dizzy-headed or feel high or anything else like that, it's a no. I don't know if they changed that.
I'm gonna go text Austin. I'm outside real quick.
Somebody said Jose wants in. I don't know if that's how you say it.
Okay, I don't care who wants
He's been asking for a minute.
Hold on.
Jose. I see you. I'll let you up.
Yo.
What's up?
So, all right. I was a Marine. You can take opioids. You can take sleeping medicine. Yes, you can. You can take all of that.
Okay.
You pain meds, it's a lot harder to get prescribed. Like when I got hurt, I got prescribed pain meds, right? So yes, you can take pain meds. But it's been like that. It's always been like that. If you're hurt, what do you think? They're just going to say, fuck this guy and let him suffer? Hell no. It's the same as anywhere else.
Let's talk about if you were stationed in, let's say, what the fuck is it called? Let's say you were just stationed somewhere waiting for orders or something else like that in a different country.
So you would never be in another country awaiting orders. So like you can get stationed in another country, but you're not really ever going to wait for orders. By the time that your time comes up to get new orders, there's people that do that for you. So you'll never be in another country awaiting orders. Even when you're in a schoolhouse waiting to pick up, like the infantry schoolhouse, for example, it's called MAC Company before you pick up at Camp Geiger, for example. That's where I went, so I can only speak for that. But, yeah, dude, if you get sick, you get fucked up in MAC Company, hell yeah, they're going to get you help. I mean, it's the exact same thing on the civilian side. Now, when I got my wisdom teeth in boot camp, I didn't get anesthesia. They did numb it. So it wasn't like I could feel it, but they didn't put me to sleep. So unless you're getting major surgery done. Well, it was numb, but I could feel it, but I couldn't feel it. It was like pressure. So, I could feel it, but I couldn't.
Right.
But yeah. And then Harley Quinn, if you're going to join the Marine Corps, you might as well go ahead and start learning everything now. You might as well go ahead and start running now.
I already know a whole bunch about it and stuff. My papa's been teaching me about it all my life. Because at one point he was a sergeant and stuff like that, and he's been training me ever since I was younger, and he wants me to go in there. And I was already in one, but I didn't like how I was being treated because they were treating me and all the other women very unfairly, and a man in there that, like, you know how they have to measure you for, like, your uniform sizes and stuff?
Yeah.
they did not care who did it because I was in Florida, and they did not care who did it, and a man did it, and he started touching me in ways I did not like. And I asked for a female, and they would not give me a female, so I was like, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. Well, I stopped there, and now I want to go somewhere else instead of Florida, which they said I can do that, but I told me and my papa talked about it, and it was going to be, if my life didn't go as planned, I was going to go back. But now I'm thinking about going back. Just not to Florida.
Yeah, I mean, so you can, there's like a recruiting station in every city. I mean, you can just go to the next town over and talk to a different recruiter. But my thing with it is the Marine Corps, they just like, well, I'm not going to say they just, but the Marine Corps, like standard, depending on your unit, like my unit, we had to get a first class PFT or physical fitness test and a first class CFT, which is a combat fitness test. You had to get, it was, I don't even remember how it was graded, but you had to pass it. It was like an A or whatever the fuck it was. I don't remember. Or first class, I'm sorry. Jesus. So depending on your unit, you're going to have different fitness levels. A first class PFT and a first class CFT is an absolute bitch to do. But the Marine Corps don't play. Like, they don't at all about fitness. That may be one of the things that they care about the most, because I will tell you, and I'm going to say this respectfully, disrespectfully, however you take it. But if you are an oversized Marine and you walk into a chow hall, somebody is going to tell you that you are oversized and you need to fix yourself.
Yeah, I know. Trust me, I know.
The Marine Corps don't play in no way, shape, or form. But
I know they don't.
Austin or big country, whatever. What did you do in the Marine Corps?
Hold on, hated that's not Austin. Austin is one of mine, which I met off here.
Okay.
And I don't want to get into everything about that, and I'm not going to say what he is because I don't know if he's okay with that. But no, that is Gator. Austin is one of mine.
I'm going to say this. What is an MOS tells me nothing. A job tells me nothing. There's no classified jobs. And if he would not want you to tell his MOS, that's going to tell me that he's a pogue. But yeah, I mean, if you guys got anything else, any other questions, I mean, I'm here. I was in the Marine Corps, but if not, I'm going to pop out of here and.
Well, I followed you, but I also at the same time, if I have any more questions, I could just ask Austin because, yeah.
Yeah, well, all right. Deuces.
Damn. I'm so confused because you said I could get in trouble for my scars. But I'm so confused.
That's what they told me. If you have any scars on your body, they're going to ask you what it's from. Because I'll show you. I got cut by a table saw.
Yeah.
I had to write down exactly what happened.
Okay.
And explain what happened to make sure that I had no, what the hell is it?
Suicidal idealizations or whatever the word is. So, scars, tattoos, anything like that. You come in, you're going to go to MEPS. They're going to do your medical evaluation and your processing. It's like medical evaluation. They process you in the Marine Corps. You sign your contract, yada, yada, yada. Hoorah, all of that bullshit. Anywho, you're going to go in there and any scars, any tattoos, they're going to note all of that.
Well,
The
yeah, I know they
reason-
did that at the last one, but in Florida, they didn't care. All they asked is they were like, what's the meaning? Because I had a tattoo on my ankle, and they were like, what's the meaning of it? And I was like, it's for my dead papa. And they were like, okay, that's fine. We just need to know what it was for. And then they started asking about the scar, because I'm not ashamed of saying it's not something to be proud of, but I also got abused by a guy that claimed to be my father, figuring out he wasn't, figuring out my real father was gone. Long story short, I have scars, and they were asking about him, but that's really it. But I didn't get in trouble for him. So when he said I would get in trouble for him, I was like, wait, huh? Because they just wanted to know where they were from. Because also, when I was younger, I used to, slitty, and I told them, and I also told them about that, and they were like, have you done it? And how, like, when's the last time you did it? I was like, years ago. And they were like, okay, as long as you don't do it while you're in here, then you're good.
So, so my best friends, right? They said those magical words, and like probably within 2 months they were processed out. If you have any history, it doesn't matter. The Marine Corps is not gonna allow you in, because there's things like rifle qual, things like that in boot camp. They're not going to hand someone who has history, or someone who is feeling that way. They're not going to hand them a loaded gun in no way, shape, or form. I've seen dudes in infantry. That's what I was in 0311. That's all we did was train with guns. I've seen dudes like never touch a gun the rest of their time in while they were processing out. In the Marine Corps, when you get out for something like that, they say, have a good day. And they don't help you anymore.
Alright, so being exact, if I stop before I join, I won't get in, okay, so if I stopped, years ago before I even, just joined, because that's what I'm wondering, because in Florida, they didn't even, I didn't get in trouble for it or anything. They literally said as long as I stopped years before then, I don't have any thoughts of it, any wanting to do it anymore, and I don't do it anymore, I'm fine, but if they catch me doing it, I'm instantly out.
So...
Because they're not bad. You can barely even see them.
So whenever they're asking you about your scars, they're not asking, they're asking you like, okay, did you hurt yourself? They're asking you about those scars in case you're ever taken. They can identify you based on the scars and the tattoos you have on your body. That's why they're making note of that at MEPS. Now, if you have slit mark, or if you have marks or scars where you have cut yourself, and they see that, you're not gonna make it far. You might make it to Paris Island.
So they're barely noticeable.
To Paris Island, and
they're
the
barely
doctors are looking at
noticeable,
you,
but
you're out.
The sergeant that I had, I forgot her name. I think it was Val or something. I can't remember her name offhand, but she was checking me for scars and tattoos and stuff like that.
It was the recruiter?
Yeah.
Okay. So
when I first went in there.
Yeah.
Because by the time I left, I was already in E5 by the time I left. I left at E5. And I don't know what they told me. Huh?
You've already been in the Marine Corps?
Yeah. And I didn't get in trouble for them because I didn't do anything after that. But they did, when I first joined, they did have someone watch over me just to make sure I wasn't lying to them. So they had people watching me at all costs. And when they realized that I really actually don't do that no more and I didn't lie, then that's when all that stuff happened. So but then I left.
You have already been in the Marine Corps and you have earned the rank of sergeant.
Yeah. In Florida. Like I said. But I left.
No. Like, what do you mean in Florida? You were in E5.
Okay, in Florida, in the Marines.
You were stationed in Florida.
Yes, I was stationed in Florida.
In Florida.
Yes, and I was in E5.
What base in Florida?
Huh?
What base in Florida?
Hold on. Let me go to mine and my papa chats, and if you don't believe me, I can show you. I'm going in me and my papa chats, because me and my papa talk about it all the time.
So here's my concern, right? you've been to MEPS.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know the MEPS process? What was
Not
your
out back
MOS?
hand no more. Like I said, I have to.
What was your
I have
job?
to-
What did you do in the Marine Corps?
Okay, so on that one, I was usually on base watching over the E1s and E2s, but at most of the time they had me just with E1s, and I had to train them and help them out with that.
So you were a drill sergeant.
Yeah, technically. But after I left and everything, it's been so long I can't even remember.
So
That's why my papa has to remind me, and that's why I've been talking to him about rejoining. But I'm not, like I said, I'm not completely sure if I want to rejoin. It depends.
So I'm going to ask you this, and I don't mean it in any way.
And I did lose weight. I was not as big as I was now because I know I've gained a shit ton of weight.
So how old are you?
Me, I was 17, 18.
Okay. And before you were a drill instructor, like, what did you do?
I went to boot camp.
So you went to boot camp and then you were a drill instructor after?
No. Okay, so I thought you were talking about, like, what'd you do before you joined?
No. Like, what was your job before?
I went to boot camp. After I got out of boot camp, they sectioned me in Florida. So once I got to Florida, they had me do basic training and they made me work myself up. I would have classes that I would have to do in there. They would make me get up there and they would make me study. They would make me take tests. They had classes there in Florida.
Okay.
And I would have to do them. And then they would train me for them and stuff like that.
So you never had, like, a job before you became a drill instructor?
All I had was my papa's and my grandma's company that got left in my name. That's all I had.
So you didn't have a job in the Marine Corps?
No.
Like a primary MOS, maybe?
No.
Okay. So
all they really did is make me take classes and stuff and train me and then make me work myself up.
okay. Did you suffer from a traumatic brain injury at all in your time in the military?
Okay, so when we were doing these drills and when we were doing these drills where we had to do push-ups and all this stuff, and then we had to go under barbed wire in there and a lot of other stuff that we were training for in there. So we were doing these basic training. Huh?
My wife's coming inside here to tell you something I have no idea, but I just thought I'd let you know.
Wow.
No, I'm getting caught a lot. Well, anyway, and I did end up hitting my head, but I don't think it was a brain injury.
Okay. So I'm gonna like tell you a little story about when I was in my infantry schoolhouse, right?
But when I got out though, I did get into a car crash.
So
Like
when
we
I
were
was
on the way back, and a diesel truck ran into the side of us, and I got into a car crash when we were on the way back from Florida.
So when I was in my infantry schoolhouse, one of my buddies, he went on something called Recruiter's Assistance. And it was like the night before he got back, and I texted him at like 9:30 that night. I was like, hey, man, I'll see you in a few days. I love you, bro. How's everything going? And he was like, good. At 9:48, he called 911, and he said, I'm about to take my own life, right? This dude was the most gung-ho dude in the world, and he literally took his last breath being a Marine. So I don't want to be that guy, but there is no way, there's nothing that you have said has made any sense. Okay. I'm not gonna sit here and
they gave me a certificate, and when I go to my papa's, because you have it hanging up, I can send you a picture of it.
Okay. No, I mean, I don't want to belittle you, and I do not want to embarrass you, but all that I ask is I had two of my buddies who earned that title that took their life.
Yeah,
So,
that's understandable.
Please do not, like, there's, you have to have a primary MOS. You have to. Mine was 0311. That means
Well, if I look
rifleman.
up Florida, but that's pretty much where I went was Florida. Like I said, I wasn't there for, well, I was there for a while.
Yeah, but
And-
if you were an E5, you would know.
That's what they told me.
You would have been promoted. You would have had to get promoted from private to private first class to lance corporal to corporal, corporal to sergeant.
Can you turn off the comments, please?
You would have to go through. I mean, every rank is earned in the Marine Corps. The E5, they may have told you we'll bring you in at an E1 or an E2 if you sign a contract, but that's the highest that you're going to see.
Honestly, that's what Florida told me. And I already didn't feel right when they said that, because usually when I went on the base and stuff, because I'm telling you, I'm being straight up honest with you. And I'm not even lying. I have not lied this entire time. They would sit there and make me train the E1s and E2s, but at the same time, they also had they had an E6 on there, on base with me, which I wouldn't do much when I was doing it. They would just make me sit right there.
What the hell happened?
I love you.
Okay. Well, where'd you go?
So,
There we go. Nope. There she is.
Hold on.
What the hell was that about? What the hell happened?
Hold on. It's Austin. Because I'm trying to talk to Austin, and, like, I don't know. He's over here trying to say all this other shit, and I'm just speaking the truth on what happened.
Okay, she keeps leaving, but
No,
she does not need to join. She does not need to go back. She doesn't need to go back into the military because they